Good evening, this is Tenez the Human, and welcome back to our Mongol Horde campaign. And you join us near Adana, where last time we were very much pushing the Turks towards their doom. Indeed, today I think we will end that faction. They can be the first faction to be destroyed, and I do believe what was originally the largest faction. But it's not just them who are going to collapse here today, because last time we did get started with the Byzantines, who, by the way, our armies are sneaking around to go and take out. Up in the north, the Russians are under siege. Moscow itself and Grand Duke Sieva is going to hopefully meet his demise as well today. Aradai in the north, slowly creeping towards Novgorod, although probably the weakest army we've got right now. So just be careful about that one. That one could go wrong if I'm... Yes, if I make any slip-ups. Khan Hebe will be moving towards Smolensk soon enough. And of course we do have a great army here. Hordes moving towards Kiev, which does look very well guarded, it should be said. And a load of Hungarian nobles. That's slightly terrifying. So we'll have to see how all of that nonsense goes. But yes, let's start us off over here near Adana. Burkai heading straight to the boats. I hired up some boats off screen, and of course we'll just go and dump those over here in Cyprus. Lovely stuff. So in we go to Nicosia. We will need to get some ladders and towers. We'll head in there next time. I think I have an agent here as well. Nice little spy. No need to worry about the gates. Just one unit. That will be a simple old affair. When they're done with that, we'll probably just swing around to Iconium. The port just give us a nice access route, which is marvellous. As for this, yes, I think we're going to need to take out these lads in a moment. As for the rest of us, keep an eye on these guys back here. We obviously don't want to let anyone slip through the net, and don't really want to have to go back and take out a territory. These guys could head south down to Jeddah, but to be honest, I'd rather that they just float along this road over here and just make sure no one sneaks through. And as for Jerusalem, well, I have noticed this army standing on the river here. It might be on the river, but we've got all the missiles. So actually, I think that could be a fun old mission as well. So we're going to get our lads into position soon enough, but I think we should probably start. Yeah, let's start with the Turks up here against the Sultan himself. Oh, lovely. And he does want to do it. He could be a bit of a problem, of course, but aside from him, you know what, this army isn't too much to worry about. There's some long-range archers, the Armenians. We also have plenty more. Loads of horse archers. Again, we have even more. And we have the range to take care of them. Just be careful of some of the mercs here. They could be a little bit tricky. Let's head in. We've got ourselves a slight hill advantage on this battlefield, which is always a nice start. They are sending some of their, just some of the Akinji mercs and some of the Turkmens out to that flank. That's fine. We actually didn't put anyone on this flank. So we're just going to try and dominate them over here. We'll just charge in with all of those guys. Oh yes, some of our lovely missiles are now doing their work. Oh, this is just beautiful. This is very much like the start of the Unlocking the Mongol Horde guide video. This is a good opportunity to do some advertising. Yes, so if you would like to play this campaign for yourself, then you might want to now consider it, because there is a guide video out there waiting for you. Let me at least cav out to this flank. I don't really want them getting shot, but I wouldn't mind using them as an opportunity here. As for these guys, just swing into this lot as well. I don't really want to get caught in too much of a missile match with these guys. It's just a waste of my time. So you know what, we'll send one unit off to take care of them, because they should be sufficient, and we'll use the other slightly weaker one to take care of them, because we are the superior unit, so we should be fine if we actually want to take them on. They're actually going to take us on. Panic. I wasn't actually expecting any of that nonsense. Okay, you guys go on to physical attack and then just run off, because that means that we can get them out of there if that's what we want to do. Okay, these Akinjis over here are shooting at us. We'll just charge on in. We've got their archers being taken out of the back by our cavalry. That's what we want to see. All missiles. If we can shoot on the bodyguard, that would be very nice indeed. Let's get these cavalry up to the hill, actually, because their general seems awfully interested in us, and I don't like any of that. Okay, looks like we're largely mopping them up here. The cavalry in the rear are doing a great job. It's just the general who needs to go down at this point. Yeah, okay. Line yourselves up for the charge into the general, and my general, get yourself over here as well. Hopefully, just about give ourselves enough room to do this charge properly. Cavalry, cavalry, cavalry. Yeah, just keep on getting on top of them. That is absolutely fine. Missiles. All of you just shoot at that general. All of you get on top of him. Oh, he's going to get charged. Oh, lovely, lovely stuff. All missiles. Stop shooting at this point, to be honest. Yep, enemy king is fleeing. Everyone just start charging around. Get on top of whoever you can. You guys, to be honest, we might as well use our actual archers on those guys if they want to create some problems. Get on top of the Armenian cav for now. Their general, oh, the Sultan is going to go down actually because he is way, way too surrounded by all of us. He is not going to get away any time soon. General, you get on top of those Armenian cav. And as for the rest of us, I think we've pretty much got them. Unfortunately, we have lost far more than I would have liked in this battle because horse archers are annoying, and whilst mine are superior, unfortunately, we're not like 6 experience as we normally would be, so we're taking way more than we'd like. But down goes the Sultan, thank Jeebus, and with that, that's pretty much what we need to do here for this battle. Khazari will be an awful lot weaker with the Sultan gone. Well, unfortunately, 300 had lost. One unit of these guys got completely mauled by some Alani-like cav who came back into the battlefield after initially routing. Yes, this is a good example of if they're quite aggressive in their style against us, then we don't really have the infantry to just hold a position and use our other troops more effectively. So, okay, lessons to be learned from this one. Well, lessons to be learned, but ultimately we did capture the Sultan. No, executes is the order, and down he goes. Lovely stuff. Alright, these rebels I really would like to come back and just sit in Adana to make sure that no one takes it. So we'll have to work around those guys annoyingly, but trait increase, extra dread, and extra command, which we could do with, to be honest, because I did very much weaken a lot of their stats. Marvellous work. Okay, over in this direction, we do have some boats over here. We're actually going to send those mercs over to Kaffa. Just try and nab that off those lads. Is there things we can learn before this battle? But there's less horse archers. And the Trebizond archers are, they're long range as well. Okay, so yeah, we do need to be a little bit careful with one or two of these affairs. Let's go to the bridge next. Because, oh yes, we're still neutral. No, he doesn't want to do it. That's so sad. I wanted a silly bridge battle. Fine. In we go. Oh, in we go. We actually have the opportunity to head straight in with the walls. Do we want to do this? I'm not sure we do, to be honest. It seems a bit unnecessary. Let's get some ladders and some towers. You know what? I like more ladders. I like the dynamism of being able to attack from speed from various directions. Okay, you, my good sir, could actually be in a bit of trouble right now. So you, as a kind of extra army, you can just head up to the mountains over here. They want to attack you. Hopefully you have yourself a nice hill. And as for the rest of these, you just need to be careful that they're not going to get in our way. Finish on the Moors at war. That's not the most usual one. England and the Holy Roman Empire allies, not too unusual. Portugal and England have a truce. That won't last very long. I'm sure the Portuguese will turn up at a random settlement before too long. Interestingly, they've actually vacated the city. They do have a lot of armies around here. But to be honest, pretty certain we just want to head in and smash them. On the note of smashing though, let's just give them a little precursor, I think, by heading in to Nicosia. Indeed, a simple little walk-in and a little bit more sacking. Beautiful, straight back on the boats. And with that, let's just be a little bit careful about what boats there might be hanging around here. Let's go and dump them over in that direction. To be honest, I don't really want to take them on. I just want to make sure we've got some boats floating around for when we need them. We'll, though, blockade the port. Oh, marvellous. Then we'll swing round to Nicosia in good... Oh, sorry, to Iconium in good time. Now, Kaisaria. Yeah, let's just go that way around. We'll let the rebels do their business. Hopefully they'll just head back to Adana, or indeed Antioch. That would be excellent. These guys are currently in my way, but we'll just let them do their thing. And all of this nonsense, you know what, Jerusalem, they didn't do anything to defend it, so they're willing to give that one up pretty darn soon. Okay, things are quickly coming together here actually. Kaffa can see us coming at this point, and they've got themselves more units. Do they have 3 than before? I felt like they had 1. Maybe they did have 3. I think they did have 3, to be honest. Okay, on towards Kiev, and oh yes, Smolensk is hiding around the corner here. A proper castle. Lovely stuff. We'll burn that to the ground before long. There is Novgorod, and we are heading towards it. It's quite empty, which is good because I'm out of troops. Do I want to even take this guy on? I'm quite happy sieging him, to be honest. And lads, you know, I aren't getting too far ahead of him, to be fair. There's quite a bit of distance in that part of the world. Okay, you know what? I think Jerusalem. I think we're heading to the holy city herself and burn it to the ground. That way, no one can argue over it. An interesting battle in many ways because the gates have been opened just like last turn, which does mean that they are trying to block many entrances. And that does mean that weirdly they've kind of vacated the entrance that I'm standing in front of. Not quite sure why they're doing that. They're now running over in this direction, which is particularly amusing because now I can send in a bunch of cavalry straight after them, which is just marvellous news. So we're just going to run in over there, and that should cause him lots and lots of panic. Marvellous news. And with us getting up to the walls, they're a bit confused over here because they've got some units, but I'm not bothering to actually send my towers up, which is probably very confusing indeed. Meanwhile, I do have a big pile of cavalry over here, but actually going to do a lot of filthy work. So let's go and send these archers over in this direction, and we can shoot these guys in the back. And now with this army off the wall, we're going to send in the 2 towers. These horses will do their lovely work if they want to run away. You want to run away? Anytime. Oh, they're broken anyway. All is good. All is good. Right, that particular entry point is looking pretty strong. We've got units on the wall over here. The spearmen over in this part of the world. Who don't even know? The general. Oh, he's got himself trapped. Oh, lovely stuff. And that's my general. I'm a complete fool. Oh, well, you know what? It's absolutely fine. These guys are taking on those spear militia. They should, though, be shooting them at range and not getting too close. Okay, you're still just chasing after them. That's fine. You can go and join up with this party. I don't know what I'm doing. Interestingly, they have actually started to come back to some of the walls. That's kind of unusual behaviour, I must say. That does suggest to me, though, that somewhere around the map here, there's a pretty good opportunity to give them a poke. Yeah, over on this side, we are very much whittling them down. Okay, generals over with them. Wouldn't be the worst idea to do something a bit manic, but you know, we're just going to charge into the back of these spear militia. You don't seem to have noticed. Oh, there we are. They seem to have figured out that we're here. Not much of a charge, my good sirs, but hopefully the wavering, getting shot in the back, they'll break pretty quick. There might be spears against our cav, but I'm not too concerned about that. They're wavering, still wavering. Okay, fine. Just run back over there for now. They're getting shot anyway. As for the general, he's slowly sneaking towards us. Yes, at this point we are now just getting a bit stuck in that hand-to-hand. So, archers, shoot into him. All of you archers, just, I don't know where you are, just shoot. You're now chasing him down, which is confusing. You might as well keep going. Oh! He got caught at the back. Oh, that is excellent. So he's now dead, which is perfect. Just put out of there. We've got the archers on the walls. The archers on the walls should do the job. It's a little bit awkward with cavalry cities, as ever it is. But hopefully with the general gone, they are shaken. Yeah, they're not going to last too much longer with that old situation. Those guys have now broken, which is excellent. The archers will probably shoot them down from the walls efficiently anyway. As for this lot, yeah, they're getting shot down gradually. Although, we are doing that classic horse archer thing of just standing around that and then one by one just kind of poke our horses. So maybe don't do that. At this point, the bodyguard, yes, they've decided to flee. I thought they'd pretty much be done at this stage, and indeed they are. I'm probably just going to get all these archers now to stop fanning around, stop shooting at our own men, because that's pretty much the stage we're at. There's just a handful of them left on the plaza. At this point, to be honest, I have actually sent in my general just to charge at these spear militia, who are a long way off the plaza. Now that they've got back, though, we should probably just pull out of there. Make sure we don't do anything too stupid. Same with these guys. Just put yourselves back. You don't need to do any of that nonsense. Leave it to the horse archers. And it is now coming down to the standard massacre on the plaza. So much so that the dramatic music has just turned into the... at some point we might actually engage in battle again music, which does very much suggest that this is pretty much the end of the game here. And with that, another beautiful patch of grey, 6,000, 7,000 of florins actually. How lovely. We'll go stand on the bridge. If you want to join us now, my good sir, you'll have to take us on over the crossing. Oh, lovely. Yes, the River Jordan is very much where the invasion pretty much ended, pretty much around this spot here. So on this occasion, we're going to make sure that we do succeed as the Mongols, and we do eliminate our good old Egyptian friends. Because of the irritating colours, I never even noticed that actually Hulegu over here was standing next to Acre the whole time. Indeed he was, because this lad was standing outside. We're supposed to take him on in battle. In fact, these two lads being here, Kabuka and Hulegu, is ideal, because historically they are the lads who took part in the Battle of Inshalut here north of Jerusalem, which is pretty much where the Mongols took so many heavy losses. Indeed, Kabuka actually died in that battle in history. Yeah, that's where pretty much the Mongols got to and no further. So these lads in this version will do it the proper way, but I didn't realise I actually sent these two specifically down to this part of the world. So that is quite lovely that I managed to do that. So in we go then. We can pretty much take Acre here and now. A marvellous, marvellous city, but soon to collapse. Bit of a strange battle here. Of course, we have 3 different armies coming in and just the general at the front here. A few reinforcements down the hill there, and behind us there are even more, but they're all just a bit scrappy, so it's a bit of a strange one if I'm honest. But in come the missiles, I suspect. Just missing with the trebuchets, which is most unfortunate. Come on, get the discs of doom into their face, and hopefully that'll be the general taken out before we need to worry about him too much. Please, anyone want to fire? I don't think we're going to quite fire in time. Oh, darn and blast. A little bit of splatter going on, fine. Okay, well, what do we want to do then? I guess we might as well just get all these horse archers into the rear immediately. That will be grand. He'll be running, indeed he is. Lovely news indeed. These guys can just make sure he gets shot. All missiles shooting at him. Of course you guys are though just going to run alongside him, make sure he definitely goes down. Let's pick one of these light archer lads to go and chase him. Marvellous stuff. In fact, it might as well be the smaller unit. Well, annoyingly looks like one general has managed to get away, which is not what anyone really wanted, but oh well, it is just the way sometimes that these battles go. There is another one coming in this kind of a direction. They're actually just going to charge us. Oh, Shiza Manelli, I think they are. Okay, on that note then, we better just start swinging in with our cav, because I really don't want to be losing more of these than I do. Oh, we weren't on fire. We should have been on fire. I'm pretty certain I did put us on fire, but oh well, apparently I did not. So let's just get into the way of all of these guys. Yeah, grab our cav, and unfortunately there's going to be a bit of a hit on one unit by the Arab cav, and that will probably do a fair amount of damage. Yeah, a good 10 or so, but not as many as I feared it could be. Ooh, the general almost goes down to some trebuchets there. You should probably stop shoot at this point, although they've done a magnificent job of shooting the general, so fair play to them, but not quite done the final job. Okay, what do we have? We have some more horse archers at the back there. Lovely stuff. We'll just try and turn on top of all of these guys. Right, all of you lads, you can run over to this part of the battle where we do need to just make sure we intercept and shoot at those chappies. Good, 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 good. Right, so turn around and shoot those chaps. Everyone else will just charge down whatever he can, but we do need to leap around and get on top of the last forces. Down to the final army then, and then mostly some of the Mamelukes and some of the other archers. Annoyingly, they do still have some more Arab cavalry who seem determined to charge into us here today. So we're just going to have to take whatever hits we do and just try and get some of our infantry in. Yeah, not too much of a hit actually, because they hit a bit of a wonky angle, and so they didn't quite get the full nailed on hit. Get some of these archers into the flanks. We should probably get rid of those javelin men who are getting shot by the trebuchets. But it's a bit of an... Thank you, Mr. Trebuchet. A bit of an awkward hit over the edge of the hill, which is what I was about to try and say. Okay, get on top of them. All my cavalry. Yeah. Horse archers, just need to charge them down as much as possible. It's been a bit of a messy one. 13%. We haven't lost that much, but again, the front line's just being whittled down. There aren't enough infantry units to hire around here, which means we are slowly losing ours. Not ideal, really. And with that, a rather marvellous victory. 124 lost, and we've left them with very little indeed. One general did get away, though, of course. The other one captured. So with that, we should be pretty close to walking in. Indeed, here he is, only worth 1,500. Execution it is for you, my good sir. And the other lad, fortunately, is going to head straight into the castle. So we might as well go in and finish off the assault. Victory and glory, and with that, another settlement has been sacked. Lovely stuff. We'll merge up our forces and we'll start heading on. Now, okay, as I said, we are starting to take a little bit more damage than is perhaps ideal, but the Egyptians are being pushed back now pretty darn nicely. We're picking up more and more traits, which is good, because that's going to need to somewhat counterbalance the fact that we're losing an awful lot of our armies, or at least the infantry parts anyway. Okay, well, mostly we're ready to finish up for the term, but I do think there is the small matter. The Byzantines over here. Honourable engagement, you say? Oh, chivalrous chap, are you? Well, I'm Khanzada Subataida Raffle. Yes, the heir apparent, of course, the Khan's Conqueror, proven commander of my reg. I think it's one of the few characters I didn't nerf, so we've still got him looking pretty darn brutal. Kaffa, we're ready to land our next time, and still, as I say, moving up in the north. Fine. In we go then. He doesn't want to do it. Oh, that's a shame, because he's going to have to. We'll do a little night battle just to make sure he feels less and less at home. In we go. It's a beautiful dawn here in Anatolia, and indeed this will be the last dawn that many of them see. Horse archers will get shot down by our own archers. I've made one small tweak for our battle formation today, and essentially what I've decided is, yes, these guys are kind of just fodder, so they might as well go at the front and be the one who get charged. You need to really keep these heavy infantry for sieges when I actually need to take some people on the walls. They are sufficient to take people on in infantry battles. They actually take the hits from the cavalry charges quite well, but it's still a bit of a waste as far as I'm concerned. So realistically, I think we're going to put them in the second row, and we use the more front line when it comes to the major battles. For now, some Trebizond archers down the hill. Yes, let's make sure you're shooting down at them, my good sirs. Cavalry are just making life a little bit awkward on the flank here, so we're just going to intercept those with our useless Gingis, who, well, they're not terrible to be fair, but they're just here to basically mop them up. We've got plenty of archers shooting down their hill. Similar story on this flank, apparently. Get these Turkopals shot by them, get these guys charging down the hill into those lads. The hill advantage has meant that they've been getting shot a long time before we arrive, so I'm quite happy to, yeah, just stay on the hill. Keep on us together today. We've been losing a few too many men recently. I'm not too happy about it, to be frank. Okay, I have a lot of chargy cav who can do a lot of damage if I put them in the right position. So let's go and get some on the hill over here. These guys are indeed going to now swing around that flank. That will be ideal. And as for the other half of these cav, we do have some, not the Turkomans, where are they? The Armenians, there we are. Yeah, get yourselves over on this flank as well, so we can all charge across the battlefield into a big doom in a moment. General is right at the front there, so we're just going to get on top of him. Send in our general as well. That'll be fine by me. Their guys are going to cause us some problems. Obviously our infantry will get slaughtered, which is the problem of doing it this way round, of course. Okay, you, and you. Heavy archers, just swing around into their flanks. Same story over here with any of my missiles. Where are my missiles gone, by the way? There's one of you. Just head into them, to be honest. It's absolutely fine as it is. Right, General. You need to go and get some filthy work done on top of them. I know there's spearmen, but you're just going to charge them anyway, because God knows it just makes sense as far as I'm concerned. There we are, we got the route. It didn't take very long for them to break, so that's pretty much what I was looking for. Yeah, we've swung across. Just a moment later than we should have to moved our cavalry into those flanks, but with the cavalry in position, things are looking very good. Pretty much everyone's already melting like the proverbial cheese, and with that the general has gone down. We did lose a few more of those infantry than would be ideal, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. We will, we'll just want to run them down at this point, because I suspect we've got plenty of speed on the battlefield. A pretty brutal victory, all things considered. We lost 135, almost entirely these 2 units of basic fodder at the front, so you know what, that's not too bad. Everyone else seems to have taken a light tap at best. A few casualties healed with those foot archers as well. Just a casual spear through the spleen, it's fine. Another day, another family member to execute. Too bad, my good sir. Too bad. And with that, the road to Nicaea is going a little bit clearer. Depends how much they want to use these other armies at Constantinople here. For the time being, to be honest, might be better that we head down to Smyrna. That would be probably the best thing for the time being. We'll see. We might actually have a chance to poke this. If we do have the chance, we'll do that. But if they send reinforcements, then there's no point of getting this army murdered long before they need to. We'll just swing them down in this kind of a direction. Got some Armenian archers I could hire, but for now there's no space for it, so let's not worry. Well, it's a new turn, and interestingly, Russia's looking weaker than I anticipated. Lovely news. Sometimes they can have massive hordes of awful armies. On this occasion, unless we've just missed them, they don't seem to be here, which is marvellous news. Got 3 turns until Moscow surrenders. Smolensk is under siege now. We'll just run in there next turn. Kiev, thank you, Mr. Horn. I don't know how audible that car horn was. But yes, indeed. We're just keeping an eye on this lad over here. My diplomat is just following him around, as are my little scouty armies. Yes, on the note of the Hungarians, who seem to be anticipating what's about to happen. Yes, indeed. Into Gaffa we go, and with that, I think we'll just assault the place. 3 units. They're the better units, of course, but we have enough just to shoot them down. Simple enough, although it should be noted that we are paying florins to the mercenaries at this point, so yes, we do just need to be a little bit careful about that kind of thing in the future. As for where this army goes now, well, the boat, the problem is they'll probably just walk straight back in, so I'm actually going to send them over here for now. We'll just see if we can poke back at them if indeed we need to. Relations worsen with the Pope. The Mongols and Hungary are at war. Well, indeed we are. And as for Kiev, well, that could be a tricky one going forward. Yeah, we'll just keep an eye on all of that nonsense in the north. As for the rest of this, okay, so they have scattered their men in this direction. To be honest though, Prince John and Vasilios of Lazica, you are looking rather vulnerable out here, my good sirs. So I'll send some cavalry after you next turn. For now, we'll just keep on wandering. As for all of you guys, lovely, we have room for the extra Kinji. We will run into there. Lovely mercenary captain, extra cash from looting. That is exactly what we all want in life. And Kaisara can be put under siege. In fact, we could head on in. I'm not sure how clever an idea that will be. We'll just build up some towers for now. We've got the trebuchets. We probably will smash in. It's only a castle actually, so yeah, I'm kind of happy to do that should we decide that's the best course of action. Fine. Get the diplomat moving over towards the Byzantines. I wouldn't mind having a diplomat in that part of the world. We have our boats over here if they are indeed useful. Right now I'm not sure that they are. Wouldn't mind mopping up. Oh lovely, I remember this army. I gave one of their cities a pack of 6 packs of Sydney's tribesmen, so they've sent them running around. I enjoy that. Okay, I think, where are we at? Yeah, this guy is a little bit irritating right now. I'm just going to send this guy over towards Gaza. That's fine. And this lad can just mop up what's hanging around because just a few too many armies in awkward positions down the south. A fairly uneventful end turn, but I will notice that Jerusalem is looking pretty impregnable for any reinforcement armies that want to come and retake the city. A bunch of Saracen militia as well. We're very, very strong indeed. Large stone walls, only a bit damage to the grain exchange. Oh yes, this is looking like it's in very, very good shape. Unfortunately, can't quite press the assassination button. And as for Gaza, well, Gaza's an interesting one. Some archers and some Mamelukes. Don't have the siege equipment in this army, so I'm going to send these guys around here just to deal with that. Maybe I'll swap these guys around. Maybe I'll reform their armies and send these. Just keeping an eye on them. I've got 2 armies just wandering around here for the time being. To be honest, I probably could just go and shoot these guys down at this point. So I'll probably go and do that actually. More importantly though is up north, although before we get there, yes, just in case you're wondering, we will go and head over to Izmir, and after that, well, this is a little bit mopping up potential here as well, so we're going to keep an eye on those lads. Where Iconium is under siege, and Khazaria, well, we'll get to that one very, very soon indeed. But I think it's time to head to Smolensk and to Novgorod. Smolensk isn't that well defended, to be honest. We're going to go for a night attack because we might as well, but it's just a small spattering of odd various units. So in we go, let's take them down. The ram is about to get to the gate, which is great news because if they can manage that, our horse archers come in and shoot these guys from the rear. We've got these archers coming in, climbing up with the woodsmen, and that means these guys can rush in and get the flanking manoeuvre, which is really what we want. Oh no! Flaming blasts. Oh well. Yeah, we've of course managed to get a flaming tower right at their death, which is kind of irritating. So let's just watch this one burn down as well for no good reason. Our men are now climbing up. Good news indeed, but we are going to take a few losses here. Not ideal. For some reason these woodsmen seem to want to run right along the edge here. They're climbing down. Very interesting. Okay, well, shoot them down then. Shoot them down. As for these guys here, climb up. Get yourselves in positions. They want to give up the walls. Well, I'm very, very happy with that circumstance. And down goes the ram as well, which is good news. Gives us a few more options. Yeah, with the ram gone, or the ram doing its job, we do always have the options here if they climb back on the walls to send in the cav. Right, these arch militia are slightly irritating me, so I'm just going to keep them busy with my cav. There we are. Actually, we've got some range on them from all the way back there, so actually I'm kind of happy to shoot them from back there, if indeed I can do that. Just get these guys out of there for the time being. We're just going to pull these lads around a little bit. You get yourselves up onto that position on the wall. Yeah, just get yourself out. Just pull these guys around. As long as they're not standing still and shooting at us, I'm actually quite happy with this circumstance. And actually, this is even better because now they've decided to chase us out, which means we can immediately get on top of them with our much heavier set of horse archers. It's just what we want to see. And we'll just get some more archers up on the wall if indeed that's what we want to do. Some guys shooting them in the back. Oh, this is just marvellous. Down goes their general. With that Smolensk will soon be falling to us. Yep, they are running away. Marvellous news. Khan Hebe has done his filthy, filthy work, and with that, should be marching in. On the note of his filthy, filthy work, his son is soon coming through, his grandson even, because into Smolensk, give it a good bit of a looting. Lovely stuff. And Oh yes, if we give ourselves a little bit of room, maybe we'll just send these guys up to the north to help with that situation. I believe his grandson Ogadai is coming through soon. Oh, he's actually with... He'll probably come through with Subutai then. Interesting. Do you have a space on your army? You do indeed. Yeah, we should be getting him through very soon. No one else has had any children despite them all being filthily fertile. It's a bit unfortunate. All prolific, but nothing's happening. There we are. That's what you expect from the game, really. No regions, no children. Fine. Okay, straight into Novgorod then, because to be honest, we might as well get on with it. Prince Vladimir must go down. And if we continue using our total war accent, we will surely claim victory. Hopefully this will be a simple enough affair. We, of course, have ourselves a few ladders, and we're going to spread them around the walls here. We've got some of our mercenaries over on this side. Unfortunately, they're not actually going to defend that part, which is not the best situation in the world, because, yes, these archers here could cause us a few problems, and we don't have the actual spearmen to deal with them right now. Oh well, it is what it is. Nonetheless, we have plenty of units coming around. They've actually very conveniently got our weakest troops right where they are going to be, so, you know, we'll just have to get on top of them. Pretty much it. So, pile on top, get on these lads, you guys, the same thing. And these guys can get in position nice and quick. Maybe not quick enough. Okay, siege tower's burned down because of course it would. That's the only way it ever happens for us, right? And that means then we're just going to have to use the flanks. That's fine by me, to be honest. No, don't go up your ladder, you numpties. Yes, attack them, but don't attack them by getting stabbed as you climb off a ladder. Utter fools, the lot of them. Okay, archers taking on archers. Not ideal. Would be more helpful if these guys actually bothered to assist like they were supposed to. They've already basically got that unit killed because they didn't bother to support. Well done, everyone. Well done, you numpties. Okay, you get yourselves over here. Already broken. Great. Great, 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 great. No, don't do that now. They're still trying to do it that way. Utter fools, the lot of them. Just get off the walls. On the plus side, the generals decide to stand right in front of our crossbowman with his back turned. Oh, isn't that just marvellous? So we might as well get going with all of that. 42 of them. And very quickly, they are going to be losing their hit points, even if they have now at least turned around. Shame, but there is still plenty of death that we can cause. Get these guys to run over there because they are utterly useless. And as for the rest of us, we're just going to get ourselves in position and start shooting them down. And with a little bit of teasing, they finally seem to have got the plan, which is go into the corridor of doom and die. No, 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 stay in the corridor of doom and die. Yes, that's lovely. Okay, what are they going to do? They're going to stand there and get shot. I think they're mostly choosing to stand there and get shot. Just keep my horses running in this direction. I don't mind if we actually want to catch them in a bit of a pincer here. So, you know what? Yeah, why not? We might as well get on top of them a little bit. Don't mind a bit of hand-to-hand. Shoot into them from close range. You guys maybe just try and pile through them a little bit. And yeah, at this point, I think we'll just get on top of them. There we go. Down he goes. And with that, the battle is pretty much done. And hilariously, the moment they chase us off the plaza, they decide to give up. You know what? It's fine. We'll end it there. We lost 100 men in the start just on that stupid wall situation, we'll call it. But there we are. Job done. Fairly efficient, all things considered, for Novgorod. Indeed, there goes Novgorod and sack the settlement. Oh, this is looking beautiful. And from the looks of the borders here, Vilnius and Riga are both Polish, with Helsinki being Danish, which means this is the last stronghold of the Russians. The day has come, ladies and gentlemen. Ogadai has come of age, and with that, what do we have? A legacy of dread, easily riled, proper morals, promising practitioner, practitioner. Well, you know, he's practicing murder. Brave, religiously proper, cultured, good with cavalry, Eastern warlord, born conqueror, night fighter. God, they really don't go in lightly on the old Mongol generals, do they? Okay, he's clearly fairly impressive. To be honest though, Ogadai, I'm not really sure what you're up to right now because, well, we've kind of done the job over here. What we do need to do though is go and mop up Helsinki, I guess. So we'll head in that direction. I'm going to ignore that Russian army just to leave them floating around in the ether for the time being. You know what? Yeah, you were supposed to join up with them, so we might as well join up. We'll go and deal with the Poles in good time. And why you? Well, you will soon be dead, my good sir. And we are down to one turn at the Russian capital. And Kiev is actually further away than I thought, so we can't quite make it this turn, unfortunately. We'll hop on the boats. And there's a port in the way, Thomas. Oh, lovely. We'll just land these guys on the Hungarian port just to annoy them. That's beautiful. Okay, so on to the siege of Izmir. And with that, okay, we need to be a little bit careful with that. Higher up the mercs that we can. And these guys, just going to continue mopping them up. John wants to take us on. Okay, to be honest, I wasn't really thinking they'd both be there at the same time. I thought you might be able to pick them off. I would think about that one. We've got Iconium over here, which, to be honest, we can deal with that as well as Kaisaria. Fine. Right. We've got a few then ready to go. As well as Gaza. Oh, lovely. We can have a proper massacre before the end of the day. While we're at it, we might as well have a bit of attempted murder. Oh, I love the rock off the top of the bridge. One of my favourites. Unfortunately, it does feel like it's not too likely to work. But it looks like Kasplat. Oh, marvellous. Good work. Poor horse, though. I like to imagine the horse can just about get up there. I feel like it's not completely squished by the boulder. Okay, with that, some random Polish lad. Why me? Well, because your doom comes much sooner than I anticipated, to be honest, my good sir. So we'll head over to Riga, but to be honest, we might as well head into some of these sieges. Let's first go for Kaisaria, which should be a slightly more awkward affair, as it is a castle with a good old Captain Mustafi then to take down Sultan Mustafi, I should say. Okay, so peasants, archers, and Siparthis, pretty weak stuff. Let it in. And as ever then, we come to the walls with rocket launchers and trebuchets, and yeah, the gates are going down nicely, which is kind of what we want, and multiple entry points, just make things as simple as possible. Okay, to be honest, I feel like you're probably good. Oh, we've done it. Lovely. I was trying not to waste too many volleys there, but it turns out one volley from the 2 units is plenty to knock it down, and with that, the gate is gone and the wall is almost gone, 96% now, which means hopefully we can start to make a few more choice shots at where we want to make explode. We're now just going with the slightly mad tactic of using the rocket missiles to take down the towers, because why not? Might get the odd hit on the peasants if we're lucky. They're not doing a bad job, to be fair. It's a good bit of damage and it works us in the right direction. And to be honest, with the trebuchets going to run out of ammo eventually, we just need to make some important choices about which bits of wall we take down. I'd rather smash up the towers, to be honest. They can cause us a lot of trouble, especially as they have some questionable decisions about when you can take them over as the attacking army. So yeah, let's just see what damage we can do. Oh, this is just wonderful. We're actually getting our archers to shoot the arrows while on top of the walls. It's an incredibly effective way of using your archers. If you can manage to pull it off, oh, it is just magnificent. Okay, the tower's up there and it's hopefully doing its filthy work. Its other units aren't bothering to move right now. I'm just going to keep a little eye on the timer, but if we play this fairly carefully, we should have a simple enough victory. Interesting tactic. The Siparthis decide to run out of the city. Not what I was anticipating, I'll be honest. I'll quite happily go into loose, but to be honest, I think they're about to be completely annihilated. So, right. Novel tactic from these lads. I will just let my infantry charge into them. In fact, the cavalry are kind of coming to do just that now anyway. So, you know what? Everyone can just pile on top of them. You guys just keep running yourselves forward. You've got work to do. Let the cavalry do their... Oh, they brought all the cav. They've certainly bought a lot of cav. You know, it's fine. We'll just let the infantry continue doing what they're doing. The cavalry can just line up here and shoot them if they want to come for us. I don't want to fight at the gateway, thank you very much. What I would like is some archers to go through all of these towers here. Hopefully the game doesn't bug out and get confused. Come on, let me go through. Of course, this is a particularly large bodyguard unit. It had a nearly 50 odd men when we started the battle. I think it was actually over 50. And I think they're going to come in for a bit of a cavalry fray now. Straight into our general, are they? Well, time for us to pile on in. Archers, at this point, you might want to just stop, actually. You can just start getting back up onto the wall. That will be perfect. Only half of them remain. And to be honest, we haven't even done any of the actual battle I anticipated yet. Which is not necessarily a good thing, because that does mean that we're losing more men than I wanted to. But I suppose it was a castle with the Sultan. Operative word being was, because the Sultan is now dead. Lovely, lovely stuff. Now we've lost far too many men, quite frankly. But, you know, it's fine. It looks like at least the job is going to be done. Just one city left for the Turks when we're done with this one. To be honest, it'll mostly just be now a job of these archers running along to the walls up here and shooting them down. Hilariously, this battle has taken so long that the timer has actually got down to 2 minutes until their victory, but ultimately it's been a very efficient victory. So these lads were already damaged, so it looks kind of worse than it was. But quite frankly, 64 men lost to take out the Sultan in a castle. Oh yeah, I'll be taking that. And we sack the settlement, and onward we go on to Iconium, the final of the Turkish settlement. Do a bit of merging here, and we can start to see the damage that we are taking. In many ways, train up our generals to be more dreadful could be an important point. Although, of course, yeah, generals is going to be a problem going forward as well. So 34, 58, 34, 31, 26 and 16. Yeah, we're going to have to make these guys last. There's a few more generals around, of course, but problems ahoy, potentially. Fine, let's head into Iconium. No siege equipment this time, but we've got a few ladders and towers. It's a basic wooden wall. Let's head in and take on yet another Sultan. Well, in typical fashion, this tower decided to burn down about an inch from the position it actually started in, so that's excellent, isn't it? I think, to be honest, we're just going to get all of our horse archers over in this direction and start shooting down these spear militia, see what tippy-tappy we can do. The rams burnt down as well, because of course it did. It isn't like they've got a pile of archers. They haven't got archers at all. They've got spear militia who are actually quite potentially problematic, actually, yes. So as many archers as possible would not be a bad way of doing this. We don't have an ideal army for this whole situation, do we? No. Apparently his bodyguard want to come out and fight us. That's a little bit brazen, but we saw that last time, and it wasn't the stupidest thing, but it wasn't exactly the smartest thing either. So as all the cavalry in the world pile on in, oh yes, I think we're going to have a nice foray out here on the battlefield. These archers, I thought they just managed to dodge him, but in the end they haven't. No. Okay, archers are getting somewhat cut down. Bodyguard has got drawn into a proper melee at this point, which is interesting. Not really sure what I make of all of that. Let's just go and smash into those Turkomans. How are we doing on the walls, by the way? We are taking some pretty heavy knocks, all things considered. This isn't really ideal, is it? Cavalry is one position, though, where we do have a pretty good advantage. So if nothing else, we should be able to get on top here. And if we break the general nice and early, it might well be, you know, advantageous for us. In case you're not aware, by the way, these guys do have maces as their alternative weapons, so it's very much a good idea to change over to the mace if you have the opportunity, because yes, armor piercing, very, very strong indeed. There might be lancers, but no, with the mace, they are very much like Rome Total War cataphracts, and with that, we have demolished them, and we're piling on in through the city walls now. We don't even need to worry about taking any of the rest of it. Oh no, let's just run straight to the centre and smash up all the ballista with our cavalry. That sounds like a much better idea. We'll just hold them off, and quite frankly, that will probably minimise a lot of losses. At this point, we are just piling in. Oh, this is glorious. I do quite enjoy this. And now we have control of the city. So if their spear militia want to cause some problems, well, they might cause a few problems. But to be honest, mostly, you know what? The missile troops, you should probably just get out of the city. That's fine, because you're just going to rout otherwise. So just get out of there, my good lads. But I think the Lancers have got this. And even our retreating horsemen have decided to create a break in the spear militia. This has gone strangely well all of a sudden. Quite happy. Someone's just spitting fire over the top. Please stop. Yeah, this has gone strangely well. Very quickly indeed. Well, I was just going to set the timer down to 0 and not even worry about the spear militia. But to be honest, spear militia have all decided to rout, seeing all of our hundreds of thousands of horsemen. And while it's certainly one way, no, this is the final battle for the Turks. They go down to the very last ballistaman, and a clear victory for us here today. A very strange battle, but a glorious one for Bergay the Raffle. I do enjoy a nice novel affair. Both Turkish armies deciding cavalry charging out is the way to go forward. Turns out it's not, but I enjoyed it. And with that, oh lovely, faction destroyed. The Turks are gone. And with that, things are looking interesting. Yes. So, Prince John, you might be able to give these guys a poke, but you are very much stuck in a corner at this point, aren't you? Yes, indeed you are. We'll send this chap over in this direction. And more reinforcements are heading this way. Oh, lovely. Yes, we do need to go take care of roads in one way or another. Have to consider how we do that. Let's just use you as my little scout as ever. And to be honest, yes, we are we're really pushing these guys back, aren't we? Well, as for Gaza then, I think we'll leave this a turn. I wouldn't mind, to be honest, for a castle having the trebuchets. No point in going this turn if just one turn later we'll have the equipment ready. We'll just keep an eye on the Egyptians. Quite a few of them seem to be retreating down towards Jeddah, or indeed towards Egypt. We should probably keep a close eye on all of that. But with Smyrna going down next time, I think, yes, Moscow. Send out and see what goes on with them. Are they going to sally forth? They are not. The filthy, filthy cowards decided to not even put up a fight. And some lad over here is attempting some sort of assassination, apparently. But apparently he got caught. Oh no! An assassin! That was such a ridiculous little scream. Oh no, my assassin! No, the alright bloke is dead! Ah, don't even know who he was trying to kill. Some lad. I've been given a gift. Marvellous news. Diplomatic information. Some allies around the world as people realise there is a big problem. But Russia have also been destroyed. Well, hopefully this assassin goes a little bit better, and I do always enjoy a lovely priest assassination. Please don't voice clip that. Yeah, they're just find them particularly interesting ones. There he is. The priest. And down he goes. Oh, lovely. Not the most interesting of all the priest assassinations, but there we go. At least he died doing what he loved. And he falls into the sea. Good bit of training, he says. Didn't actually gain anything for that, apart from being a filthy, filthy murderer. You know what? I'm going to leave Helsinki for the moment because it's not the strongest army in the world. And yes, I could probably do with a bit of infantry. Oh, that is marvellous news. Right, you, my good sir, can be a bit of a backward scout. That will be fine. You can join him, actually. And that gives us space for these two units as well. And with them, yeah, Helsinki doesn't look quite so scary with a little bit of mercenary infantry. 10% bonus to looting. Oh, good. That's just what I want to see. So, Smyrna. Smyrna. You could be good fun, but more importantly, good old print. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, you know what? We can get the cavalry to join up. So we'll get the cavalry forward. That shouldn't be able to happen. But let's go and kill Prince John and Vasileios of Lazica, who of course both need to go down. In we all go then. A bit of a charge from everyone, but they are unfortunately going to all get themselves killed. So in come all the missiles in the world, and they will now go and do the charge in. The light lancers, oh, they don't know where to go, but they're going to their deaths. Oh, and he's already given up. Sorry, old Johnny boy, you're going to be slaughtered. Down he goes. Oh, lovely. And at this point, they are very much just fighting to the death, so if you like to pull out, that would be good. That would avoid unnecessary deaths on our parts. We'll pull out of that. Enemy general fallen. Good, it isn't. Yes, great victories like this. I mean, it's a pretty great victory. I wouldn't say it's one that was ever in doubt, but there we go. Another glorious day. And we could ransom them back, but we're not exactly short of money, so no. Execution. Oh my. And with that, the Byzantines are losing an awful lot of generals. I'm sure the game will gift them back to them pretty darn soon, so I won't worry too much. But yeah, maybe we'll send some of our spies off. That would be a sensible plan, I think. And with that, ladies and gents, is that probably a good place to end it for here and today? I think so. I think so. We'll get ourselves one of those. And yeah, this is probably a place to leave it for today. Well, I tell you what, we've killed 2 factions off today. We've killed off the Russians, who didn't put up much of a fight, and we took out the Turks, who did charge out to put up a good old fight, but they were slaughtered as well. So the reality is, don't take on the Mongols. The thing is, though, things are only going to get harder. This is kind of the opposite of many campaigns, where in the early rounds, in the early turns, the early episodes, it's very much a case of, you know, slowly building and getting to important early steps, and slowly you snowball. But we kind of, there's a fair chance we're going to do the opposite of a snowball here, whatever the opposite of a snowball is. Comment that down below, I don't really know. But whatever the opposite of a snowball is, I feel like that is potentially what could happen here. Because at the moment we've got our strong armies, and whilst I did give them all extra regions, the huge stacks haven't appeared very often just yet. So as we keep going west, we're going to meet bigger armies, and we're going to have more and more depleted forces ourselves. I mean, our forces they are getting whittled down. It really should be noted. These big battles are taking their toll. Part of the problem we've been having in the east is that there really aren't any infantry mercenaries, which means that we have had to throw our own in a bit too often, and that's not particularly ideal. Ideally, we want to meet people on the field with a big pile of horse archers and shoot them to death, but no, that hasn't been happening nearly enough. In many ways, if we can use the infantry for a solid line, the infantry mercs, and then get the rest of the army working around that, I'll be feeling an awful lot happier. But hey ho, we're doing a pretty darn good job so far. And whilst we aren't really picking up the experience I would like on many of these units, it is nice to use some of these. I had forgotten until in that battle earlier that we can change over to the mace on these heavy lancers here, which is always good to see. So for now, I will leave you. I'm Thomas, this is Nerds the Human, and this has been our Mongol Horde campaign. Thank you, and bye-bye. In come the fire arrows, and if you're not aware, by the way, this is actually a traditional Bourbon greeting. It says, come and dance with us, come and dance in the flames, come and dance and die on our streets. We have ourselves a foothold in Italy. They broke! We had them entirely surrounded.